Hello traders, hello everyone. Welcome in the advanced room here at Live Education with XM, and I'm here with Doug Rumer to talk about markets. Right in the middle of the week, European early afternoon, US early morning. We are on Thursday actually. Whoa, I missed a day.
You did.
Hello everyone. Hello Doug. Doug is with me, our
Hmm.
US trading expert, gonna discuss markets, gonna also discuss comments, answer your questions, guys. So be active, be with us in the chat, and look forward to a great session. Hello.
Well, hello. How are you?
I'm doing
Hello.
fine.
All
I'm
right.
doing fine. How is it
Very
going?
good.
How's the market? Recently, especially U.S. market. I've
Hmm.
been hearing, some rumors that U.S. market is done, and we will sell off because of the recession, and nothing like that is you know
Well,
to my
there
knowledge, I'm not
will
seeing anything like this.
there will be bounces. She got a little frisky over the last couple. I haven't been working because I was traveling. I noticed like, oh, look who got excited and bounced off the bottom. Well. What do you know? And from what I gathered the other day, it was all based off of, again, the irrationality, if that's a word, of U.S. markets sometimes, like how they're engineered to always go up. Um, you you had this huge day, 70 points, I think it was. I wasn't working that day, Tuesday, Monday, whatever it was. 70 points on the US 500, which is humongous, based off of declining consumer confidence, which leads to the market's thinking of rate cuts. And I'm like, gee, I don't know. Maybe you forgot about Jackson Hole the other day that everybody put so much emphasis on when Powell said, oh, we still got a lot of work to do with rates, right? Because inflation is still high. And it's like, so the Fed chair says 2 days ago, like on a Friday, that, we're going to keep hiking. And then some consumer confidence report comes out and you're like, nah, he's lying. It's like, we've been doing this now for a couple of years. So, yeah, um, back up again, but got to say, you got to take the sell side of this today. Try to look for a good opportunity. I mean, this is about a 3.5% bounce in 3 days. You got a pretty good drop intraday yesterday, but they bought it back up. Can't get through yesterday's highs. I think I want to kind of go that route there. Kind of look at maybe trying to get yeah, try to get it to take the sell side. We'll see what they do when they open up. But man, what a strong bounce over the last couple of days. And yeah, there we go.
Yeah, I'm looking at Nasdaq, and I kind of understand why everybody is thinking, okay, maybe now it's sell time. And I'm wondering also, I mean, I kind of understand why they are not getting it, because like everybody wants it, but somebody has to sell actually, right? Like who's gonna sell? Who's gonna sell in the way that drives the market down like significantly, like creates this downswing. And even I'm seeing that yields went down recently, like 10-year bonds in US bottomed and are climbing quite fast, which means that the yields are coming down visibly. And still Nasdaq, like Nasdaq is, I think, considered right now more like alternative to bonds that could yield more than bonds, right? You could make more money on Nasdaq, and it's still very safe because it's top companies, top 100 companies index, tech companies, top tech 100 company, top 100, whatever.
Yes, got it.
Everybody know, you get my point. So I'm wondering, like, maybe the worse it is, the more the market wants to buy US 100, and we also know that US 500 is a little bit driven by those biggest companies, and actually most biggest companies are tech companies nowadays. This is how it is. But even US 30 been quite aggressive, in this dip buying. I mean, it feels like everybody wants the dip, wants the market to go down, but only some people, because they are shorting it and they are thinking about the crisis. It feels like most people want to see market dropping by a lot just to buy it significantly cheaper, and so they are not getting this drop because they all thinking about buying,
Yes.
and so they want other people to sell, and create this downswing. So they are not getting it right, and then it feels also like, well, so we are not getting the drop. We will only get the drop when all those people will stop thinking about market going down because of somebody else, and they want willing to buy the bottom. But when they lose faith that they should buy the bottom, right, and they will start selling, like they will lose faith in, because market is us, right? If if you and everybody else like don't want to sell, they just want to buy cheap, like you don't get cheap, right?
Right.
So then you and others need to lose faith that you want to buy, and you start selling, like you are the one that will cause the drop. And so then you might say, yeah, but there are big money, smart money, they want the market to drop, so they will create the drop, right? And I can agree, like that they could do it if they wanted, like they could dump the market like crazy. But the problem is, like think about yourself again, like if you were that money that could dump the market, like you can start dumping your stocks, market diving, some people, especially leverage money, following you down there. What about those other big smart money?
Mm-hmm.
Because even like they are not uniform, right? Like you can imagine you are dumping the market 10%, and Warren Buffett is buying from you and all those leverage guys that are shorting, and he's buying at your expense, right? So you cause the drop, but Warren Buffett is capitalizing on it. Um,
Mm-hmm.
that's also the problem, and probably that's why we are not getting market, going lower, because it's not that they couldn't, it's just that they don't want to give others that drop, right? Like Warren Buffett doesn't want Bill Ackman to buy cheap, right? So and vice versa, right? So that's why they keep telling you on Twitter, like there are all those funny accounts. I mean they are very serious accounts and very wise accounts and smart accounts, and they keep telling you that you should sell and the market will go down and there will be crash, and it's not coming. Like what's better moment for the market crash than now, right? I mean, well, maybe banking crisis from March. Okay, but sorry, I'm ranting. This is ranting hour, right? Is it?
Yes. Well,
Yeah.
it's a good question because I don't think most people understand what a dip is, right? Like you don't really know what you're looking. Everybody wants to buy a pullback until there's a pullback and nobody wants to buy it, right? Because they fear a crash. The thing is this is a bull market this year, and every bull market that we've had of this magnitude has never finished red for a year. And again, I talked about it before. That's including Black Monday 1987 market crash, which is almost assured not to happen again because in those days they didn't have laws and certain circuit breakers and stuff enforced that they do today. It's not the same kind of market, so that's probably not going to happen. So the chances of going red or getting anywhere close to it is impossible. And the other reason is because people don't understand market cycles. The cycle of bullishness is still intact, which means every dip is going to be shallow and most likely be bought. If for some chance this pulls back 10%, that's when everybody goes, oh, that's a dip, let's buy that. But by that time, the cycle's been broke. Now you've got bigger problems, and you're probably going to go much further than 10%, probably going to go 20. Um, just my take there. So, right now, all that you can do is look at this, and I don't know, you can't really say it's bullish or bearish. You can just look at, you had a nice pullback that went below the 50 moving average. You bounced back up and you've now reclaimed the 50 moving average. And that's all that you've done. You've pulled back from the highs. You've made a bounce, which is expected. Now, the question is, does this bounce have enough to go back to all-time high and then maybe supersede all-time high? Or is this going to retrace all the way back down to the lows from a couple days ago? We won't know the answer to that. That's not happening today. So it probably won't happen over the next week. It's going to take some time to figure that
levels not
out.
seen since Friday, right?
Right. So now that's your pivots, right? Um, from what we know, what experience has taught us, what we are learning and teaching at XM, your probabilities, it's going to be hard to really press, in my opinion, above the highs for the year. Like, remember, that's a 22% rally from January to the highs. That's a good year. So to say that we're going to move too much higher than that, I'm going to take the other side and say, not really. That doesn't mean market crash either, right? I don't think you're going to get a crash. So I think tons of upside is very limited. Maybe in the short term, there's a little bit more impulsiveness, but I think, the sell side for right now would be, I feel, the better side. Still got to get a signal, but I wouldn't overdo it with this rally. I mean, again, you can't buy it now, right? Like if you wanted to engage, you got to do it down there on the bottom. You can't chase it 4 days later. It's 3.5% bounce in the last 2 or 3 days, right? Like this week. Like again, that's huge. And I think if the market wants to go back to high, you got to take a moment of pause here and think about it, digest this move, trade sideways, then maybe there's another leg up. But I think here for the short term, um, see if there's a downside trade here would be my thinking. I don't know if you got enough to get back to the 44s down there, back to the lows. I don't know that. We'll see. But,
Well, in August it was like like 1 month correction. We've made 5%, a little bit over 5% from this year's high, from the very high like recently, and in February, and we had it extended to March, and it was this banking problem, right? We've done like minus 10%, nearly minus 10%, right? So can we go lower to minus 10%?
I
I mean
think
that's
I
we
think
could.
so. Yeah, I think so. I think you can challenge those lows again, but I don't think that's something that you're going to see happen right away. I mean, I think it would slowly drift down. I don't know. I mean, certainly everything is on the table here, but
That would be minus 20%, by the way.
yeah, I don't think we're going down
3,700.
there. Yeah, if we go down that far, we got problems. Like I just don't see that under the circumstances right now taking place. Because
Would
again, for
that
anyone,
mean Fed slept behind the wheel?
I don't know if anybody really cares. Like that's what I was going to say for everyone listening. Someone can always say it's going to end badly or this is going to be badly. Look, the catalyst is there. You just got done with Jackson Hole. Look, the market's been wrong all year long for 2 years now about these rate issues, right? It's a broken record, you know, and they just do not care right now. They don't care about inflation. They don't care about jobs. They just keep clinging onto hope of rate cuts. We're not going to get rate cuts. Um, Powell said 2024 mid bet at best. Market's still talking about September, October. It's like we've been doing this now for 2 years. Uh, the AI hype is sort of kind of calmed a little bit, but right now nobody is. That's all that's important. Nobody's taking notice. No one's pulling out money. No one really cares. Um, and that's that. The market's just not reflecting that, and it may never uh, reflect that. So,
Well, it reminds me a little bit of a very problematic mindset. Like that's what I'm sensing here in this whole situation. That you say they don't pay attention to inflation, to economy. Recently, they get slightly worse jolts number, and actually, market reacted against the dollar. Like if they got the reason to believe that Fed will pivot, right? I mean, it's like we ignore everything, but if the Fed can pivot, okay, let's go full steam. Let's go all in.
yeah,
Because jolts came out like
yeah.
1.5 million lower than the peak,
They
and
just
that will warrant Fed pivot. I
they
mean,
just don't care. They don't care. They don't
but
care. And that's it.
But what's the idea behind, wait for the dip and then buy the dip? It's like stock market always go up. Like if you look at the history, always goes up. Look at the history. Every dip is a dip to buy.